Hello students, now in this video we are going to discuss about 11th standard computer science chapter 15 polymorphism. We already know the concepts of hoops. Yes, what are the concepts of hoops? Data abstraction, encapsulation, modularity, inheritance and polymorphism. So we discussed object-oriented programming concepts one by one. Now in this lesson we are going to discuss about what is meant by polymorphism, how this concept can be implemented in the C++ programming language. Okay, so first we see what is the meaning of polymorphism. Poly means, what is meant by poly? Poly means many. Morph means shapes or forms. Okay, many form or many shapes is known as polymorphism. Now you can see the definition about polymorphism. Okay, the word polymorphism means many forms, or we can also say it as many shapes. Polymorphism is the ability of a message or function to be displayed in more than one form. That is, the same function or same message can be work differently in different process. Okay, different time. So the function name is same, but it do the different actions. Okay, that is known as polymorphism. So the concept of polymorphism, how is achieved in C++ programming language, means through overloading. Okay, so the concept of polymorphism is implemented in the form of overloading. So what is meant by overloading? In general, what is meant by overloading? Here giving the extra works. Okay, so that extra works is known as overloading. If for example, the plus symbol is used for only numerical calculation, yes, plus is used for addition. If you want to use this symbol plus, you can use strings also, that is characters also. Then we call it as a overloading operator. Okay, that is 5 plus 2, what is the result? 5 plus 2 equal to 7. So if you are giving the same operator, if for example strings also, Sri plus Devi, it gives the result Sri Devi, that is concatenation. We are adding two strings together. Sri, that is the first string, Devi is the second string. Sri plus Devi is equal to Sri Devi. Okay, so for this type of process, we are overloading the process of plus operator. Normally the plus operator is working the numerical numbers. We are overloading, we are giving extra works to this operator. That's why it is used for strings also. Okay, so the concept of polymorphism is implemented in C++ programming language through overloading. Okay, there are two different types of overloading used in C++ programming language, that is function overloading and operator overloading. The term overloading means a name having two or more distinct meanings. Okay, so what is the meaning of overloading? The term is having two or more distinct meanings. Thus an overloaded function refers to a function having more than one distinct meanings. Okay, now we can see what is meant by function overloading. What are the two different types of overloading? Function overloading and operator overloading. Now we see about what is meant by function overloading. That is, if for example a same function can do the different process, then that function is known as function overloading. For example, if you are using the function name as draw, so you are using the same function to draw a circle or square or rectangle or any other symbol. Okay, the function name is draw. It can used to draw different shapes. How it can draw different shapes? Based on the message or data passed to this function. Okay, so the based on the message or data, the function can do different actions, is known as function overloading. Okay, now you can see the definition about function overloading. The ability of the function to process the message or data in more than one form is called as function overloading. Okay, so the ability of the function to process the message or data in more than one form is called the function overloading. Function overloading means two or more functions in the same scope share the same name, but their parameters are different. Okay, I told you, no, the two or more functions share share the same name. Here in this example, the name of the function is draw. How it can be draw the different shapes based on their parameters. Parameters means is nothing but the message passed on that function is known as a parameters, message or data. Okay. If you want to draw what type of data it received, it get the value of radius. If you want to draw the rectangle, then it gets length and breadth as a parameters. That is data passed on to that function. Okay. In this situation, the functions that share the same name are said to be overloaded, and the process is called function overloading. That is, here what is meant by overloaded? We are using the same function can do the different actions, no? That is, the function name is draw. The same functions can be repeated more than one times. Okay, so this is known as overloaded. And the processor, so what it can be do, it can draw the different shapes, no? That process is known as function overloading. The number and types of a function's parameters are called as function signature. So for each and every time, each function is invoked based on their parameters. Okay, the type and the number of parameters, what kind of, that is integer, float, character, what data type, and how many number of parameters are there. This is known as function signature. Okay, when you call an overloaded function, the compiler determines the most appropriate definitions to use. By comparing the argument types you have used to call the function with the parameters types specified in the definition. Okay, so how the functions can be invoked? The function can be invoked by their name. Okay, for in this function overloading, all the functions is having the same name, that is draw. Okay, so how the compiler can differentiate, how it can be find means the compiler can find the appropriate function by using their number of parameters and their data types. Okay, is it clear? So the function can used to draw a circle is having only one parameter, that is radius. The function which is used to draw the rectangle, that is having two parameters, length and breadth. Okay, so based on the number of parameters and their data types, the compiler can identify the appropriate functions. Okay, the process of selecting the most appropriate overloaded function or operator is called overload resolution. Okay, so for this process is known as overload resolutions. Now you can see why we need a function overloading, why this concept is needed. Okay, so this concept mainly used to reduce the selection of function names. That is, more function names if you want to select, that leads to tedious. Okay, you are selecting, you have to find more than one name for using the functions. If you are using function overloading means, this concept means we are using the same name but we can do the different actions. Okay, for this we are using this function overloading. Now you can see this example. So consider the situation to find the area of circle, triangle and rectangle. The following function prototype is given. Now in this example, what you want to do? We are going to find the area of different shapes. Okay, that is circle, triangle and a rectangle. Now you can see the function names. Float area circle, float radius. Here the first data type float is known as the written data type, and then area circle, this is the name of the function. Okay, the name of the function is area circle, and then we are passing one parameters float radius. Okay, to calculate the area of a circle. For what purpose this function is used? It is used to calculate the area of a circle. And the next function name, see the next function name, float area triangle. Okay, so this function is going to calculate the area of a triangle. What are the things are needed? We use the formula of BH. Okay, so float of, we are passing three parameters, float of, comma, float base, comma, float height. And the next we are going to calculate the area of rectangle. For that also the function definition, function prototype is given. float as the return type, area rectangle is the name of the function, and then we are passing two parameters, float length comma float breadth, to calculate the area of your rectangle. So this can be rewritten using a single function header in the following manner. Okay, so instead of using three different function name, what are the three different function names? Area circle, area triangle, area rectangle. So instead of using these three different names, we can use only one name, that is area. Okay, so based on the parameter, it is going to calculate the area of the circle or triangle or rectangle. Okay, now is it clear? For this purpose, we are using the function overloading concept. Now you can see this example program. So this program to demonstrate function overloading. Okay, so here you can see the function name. Hash include, we know the function starts, the program starts from the header file. Hash include IO stream. For what purpose we are using the IO stream header file? It is used to specify the input and output statement. Okay, using namespace std. Here using namespace std, namespace is the container, it have the inbuilt variable and objects. Okay, that is built-in variables and objects. Void print of int I. Here void print is one of the user defined function. Okay, void is the return type, print as the function name, and we are passing only one parameter, and the data type is int. So int I. So cout. So cout statement is used to display the content on the monitor. Okay, so cout less than, it is integer. So this is the message. So you must enclosed within double quotes. Less than I. Here I is the variable. We want to show the value of this variable. For that we are giving the variable name alone I. And then less than end L. So end L is used to move the cursor to the next line. Okay, so end L semicolon, that is the cout statement is finished, and then we close the bracket. Print function is also end, and then next void print. Here you can see the function name print is same. Okay, how many print functions is there? 3 times we are using the same function name print, but you can see the parameters are different. In the first print function, it is the integer data type, and then second print function, the parameters are having double data type, and then third print function, the parameter is having string data type. Okay, the return type of the function is also same, that is void, but and the parameter data types are differ. Okay, so cout less than, it is a string. We're printing the string content for C and then end L. Okay, so after finishing all these three functions, now the main functions are written. Okay, int main, we know the program execution, it starts from the main function. Okay, so int main, open curly braces. Now we invoke a function. How we invoke a function? The function can be invoked by using the function name. Okay, so first we can see print of 10. So print is the function name, and we are passing the parameter, that is we are passing the constant value 10. So 10 means what kind of data? It is the integer data. Integer data means a number without a fraction is known as the integer data. Okay, so print of 10, we are passing the value 10 to the function. Now which function can be invoked? The first print function, that is void print int I. So what is the value is passed on to this variable I? 10. Okay, so it show the output, it is integer 10. Okay, and then see the second function, print 10.10. So 10.10, so this is what print 10.10. So it is the fractional data, that is float data type or double data type. Okay, so the second function void print double f can be invoked, and it show the value 10.10. Okay, and then say the third function, print within bracket within quotes 10. So ten, it is the string data. Okay, so the third function can be invoked, and it show the message, it is a string, and 10 will be displayed. Okay, at last return 0. The control return to the main function. Okay, that is the program can end. Now you can see the output. What is the output is given? It is integer 10, it is float at 10.10. Okay, 10.1, and then next one is it is a string 10. Okay, so this is a simple example for function overloading. Okay students, in the next class we discuss about the next topic. Thank you children.